Hi, this is Sophie from Chronically Crafty, and this is my second craft tutorial. So today I'm going to show you how to make a felt Easter bunny. What you need for this is two different coloured felts, one for the body and then one for the tail and the ears. As you can see, there is a pattern that you can follow. You'll be able to download that from underneath the video. So I've cut out all of my pieces, so you can see the two white pieces for the body and then the ears and the tail in blue. And I'm just getting my thread ready, and the first thing I'm going to do is sew my ears on the front. So although I've cut them out as two bits, they are going to go kind of on top of each other, but I start with the first one. So I'm just going to do a whip stitch. So pull the thread up from behind the white and then push it back down through the blue and the white. Okay. Pull back up through the white, just the white on the edge of the blue, and then pull back down through the blue and the white. And I'll continue doing that until I'm round most of the first ear. Now that I've done the half of that ear, I put the other ear on top, slightly overlapping because I want them to be overlapping ears, and I just make sure that I'm also now putting that ear on. So up through the white and then back down through the blue and the white. So you shouldn't see any of the blue stitch on the white felt because it's right on the edge. And then I do that. Once the two ears are securely on and you're happy with it, you then turn it over and do a double knot. Make sure it's nice and close to the felt. And then snip it, and you're ready for your next bit. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to secure the tail piece on. I'm just making sure my thread's ready again, and then I take one of the parts of the tail. I'm going to work out where I want to place it, so I want him to have a cute little tail at the end of his bottom. And then I'm going to do the same stitch again, so come up through the white, back through the blue and the white, so another whip stitch, just to make sure that the tail is securely on. You probably only need about 3 or 4 stitches for this. Up through the white, back down through the blue and the white. Yeah, see, 3 stitches and then double knot it off. And he's got a little tail. Now what we need to do is put the tail on the back side of the, not the back side, the back of the bunny. So you need to sort of match it up with where it is on the front. You could pin it in place, but I'm just doing it by eye, and then you're going to whip stitch it on. So up through the white and down through the blue and the white. Oh, this time, yeah. And then when you're happy, knot it off with a double knot and snip it. So the next thing that we're going to do is the eye, which I'm pointing out on the other bunny. So for this I've got a double thread of the blue just so it's a bit thicker. And for this we're going to do a stem stitch. So what we have to do is we do a line of the blue, just a small one, as you can see, going back down through. And then you put your needle through a bit ahead of that and you're going to come back down through halfway of the first stitch. Hopefully that'll make a bit more sense as we go. So you come out a bit further ahead of your stitch and then go back halfway through the one before. Move a bit further along, bring your stitch out, and then go back through halfway of the stitch before. Stem stitch just makes it look a bit thicker without having to do a chain, so it's a bit thicker than back stitch. Once you're happy with that, double knot it again, and your eye should be done. You could always do a round eye if you wanted, or you could do a French knot. I just choose to do it that way. So now you've finished all the front of your bunny. He looks like I want him to. You could add more if you wanted. So we're going to work on putting the two sides together now. I've pinned it. Don't always have to, but sometimes it's good if you've got a few different features to keep it in line. And I've gone back to one piece of thread now, and I'm going to come out through the front bit so that my knot is inside, and I'm going to whip stitch the outside. So same as before, pull through the two pieces of felt. So go through the back and through the two pieces. So I'm going to do this all the way round, remembering to add stuffing every so often. So yeah, I'm going to open the bunny up and put a bit of stuffing in the ears, because otherwise you would have sewn all the way around and not be able to get the stuffing in. So just place a little bit in using my fingers. They're slightly less long than last time, so we'll have to get the pin out at some point. But once you've got a bit of stuffing in, continue sewing. Use something to really push that stuffing in, because you can fit more stuffing than you think you can. I've already have a bit of a limp bunny, so I've sped you up a bit now as I'm just doing whip stitch around the edge of the rabbit. So as you can see, I'm coming to the end of my thread here, which is fine. So when you come close to the running out of thread, you need to push your needle through one part of the felt bunny so that the needle comes into the middle of it, and then you are going to do your knot in the middle of your bunny so that it gets hidden when the bunny is sewn up. It just makes it much neater and means that you don't have a knot on the outside. It's really important with this knot that you try to do it as close to the felt as possible, otherwise you'll end up with some of the thread coming through the felt, which also doesn't look very tidy. So I'm using a pin here to try and get it as close as possible, although with my shaky hands it's not overly useful. Once you're happy with your knot, snip it off, and then you'll have to get some more thread for your needle, and you just come out in the same place as where you've made your knot. Doing very thorough tucking in of the thread there. Probably unnecessary, you could just cut it shorter. There you go. Magically got my thread and needle ready. I'm going to come up through the middle so that the knot is inside, as I'm showing you there. When I get to the tail, I'm just going to go around the tail. I probably should have put some stuffing in the tail first, maybe so it was a bit thicker. But yeah, just go around the tail as part of your outline. So as you're coming towards the end, just making sure you're adding those final bits of stuffing just to make sure it is as full as it can be. So I'm going to whip stitch all the way up to where we started. And once you're happy you've got to where you've started, you're going to do your final whip stitch and then push the needle all the way through to the back, coming out sort of on your stitching. You're going to do a double knot on the back so that your knot's at the back of your piece. You then need to put your needle back through the knot and come out somewhere on the front, it doesn't matter where. And then cut nice and close to the felt. And just use a pin or a finger just to push that piece of thread through so that it's all finished. And there you go, that's your bunny rabbit. All happy and ready for Easter. So that's the end of today's tutorial. Now they're happy together. So if you want to see more like this, or would like to see some of my products, then please do follow me on social media. But that's it for now, and goodbye.